It's been about a week now since they've added patch 3.3 into Final Fantasy 14. Now they've added some new features into the game. One of those features I feel needs to be brought up for discussion. That one feature that's in question is the melding NPC. Now, for those who don't know what the melding NPC is, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's an NPC that you go to and you pay him 100 gil to 5,000 gil, depending on the strength of the materia, and he puts that materia onto your piece of gear. Now, on paper, this sounds like a good idea, but I feel as though adding this into the game negatively affects it. I I understand why Square Enix would have put it into the game. It's for the casual player, the those who either don't have enough time to play or just people who didn't level up their crafters. They can go up to an NPC and just bam, they just pay just pretty much some dirt cheap gil, something that's easy to get, and then the materia is on the piece of gear. It's nice and simple. It gets it out of the way. It's over. However, even though it's nice to have that around, I feel as though it gets rid of something more important. A couple things actually. The first is, and it's a simple one. It's obviously it gets rid of a part of the market. Now, before, the way you meld materia is you either were the crafter and you just crafted it on or just melded it onto the piece of gear, depending on, whatever. Or you walked up or you found somebody and you asked them to meld the piece of material onto the gear. In both scenarios, you would need an item, grade 1 through 5 carbonized matter. And now, with these melding merchants, or melding NPCs, I should say, that gets rid of the need of these items. You no longer need carbonized matter for the melding NPCs. And that gets rid of a chunk of the market board. I understand, and before I can already see comments and people making the argument that even though the melding NPCs no longer need this, they can't overmeld a piece of gear. And for those who don't know what overmelding is that guaranteed whenever you get a piece of gear, there's a set number of guaranteed melds that you can put on. You can advance meld the piece of gear though, but then it has a chance of failing. And if it's, grade 5, grade 4, the chance of failing is pretty high. But for the average casual player and those who don't have crafting classes, that really doesn't matter. Because if you're not a crafter or a gatherer, chances are the you're using the brand new raid gear. Either since we're still in patch 3.3, you're using the Mighting gear. You're using the Weeping Hollow, Weeping Hollow gear, or you're using the Lore gear. And you can't overmeld those gear sets. You can't meld onto the weapons. You can't meld the Nidhogg Extreme or the Alexander Savage weapons. You can't. It specifically says you can't overmeld it. And that gets, because of this, there's no need to have the carbonized matter at all. Because for those who are the crafters or the gatherers and they want to overmeld CP, perception, whatever, chances are they already have the one or the other and they can just grab it themselves. So that honestly just gets rid of a huge chunk of the market in that way. And the other thing I feel that it gets rid of, and this is the basic one, it gets rid of a social aspect, and to some that might not matter. But if you really think about it, an MMO, it's a social game, and in a way, you're coming together and you're meeting people and you're trying to, you know, in a sense, get along, or try. Everyone's trying to have a good time and just play the game. Because they got the end melding NPCs, there is no need for anybody to ever like the need. I shouldn't say there's no need, but because there is still a slight need, but the need of so many people just going to Idleshire or Mordona and saying, "Hey, is there this crafter who can meld this piece of gear for me?" That's gone. Now, for those who saying that that's not really socializing, in a way it is, because just recently, just recently, I actually just started leveling all my crafters to level 60. Some of them were already 50, but most of them were 0. And now I'm getting real close to hitting with all 60. Between then and right now, or I should say between then and patch 3.3's release, even though I didn't have all of them at 60 or hell even 50, I still had so many people, shouting in Adleshire saying, "Hey, is there a weaver? Is there a goldsmith or whatever who can meld real quick?" And I helped them. I now, I'm not saying I'm the best buds with these people, but every now and again I run into them and we have a little chat, and we just have fun. That's gone. There is no need ever to truly ask for a meld. And in a way, that gets rid of meeting new people. Now, obviously, that wasn't the only way, but it's just gone. A, a socializing, I should say that either, but like an aspect of socializing is gone. And in MMO, I feel like that is the last thing you want to do. It's like back in Vanilla WoW when they added, the looking for group or looking for raid onto the game. After they added this, there was no need for people to essentially be nice, because they can be an asshole to whoever they wanted now, because these people were in a different server and they would never meet them again. I'm not saying that people who were asking for meld, if they were an ass or whatever, everyone just shunned them. I'm not saying that. But getting rid of this, I feel, is a step in that direction, in a way. It's the first step. And I feel as though that first step is always the most terrifying one, because that shows there's more to come. Obviously, this can just be bullshit, and I hope it is. But I just think that this melding NPC just it should not have been added to the game. It should not have been added. The old system, there was nothing wrong with it. And yeah. Obviously this is just my take on the melding NPC. And I did say it needed to be brought up for discussion. So you've spent this time listening to my 2 cents. Now I want to hear from you guys, whoever's listening or watching this. Do you agree with me at all? Do you disagree? Because I honestly want to know how people feel about this melding NPC. And I've been asking in link shows, and for the most part, people have agreed with me, but they haven't really specified it. And I want to know why. why people if you like this feature in the game, I want to know why. It just so leave a comment or send a video, make a video response to this because I really want to know what other people think about the melding NPC, and I want to know if I'm the only one that thinks that this negatively affects the game, or do I want to know how many people actually agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, I want to know. I want to know what other people think about this. So yeah, thank you for listening to me spiel about this for the past 10 minutes, and yeah, I'll see you guys later.